Hey everyone, it's your boy Zach. Hope you're having a great day. I went into Until Dawn with very low expectations, even though I really liked the trailer, because it's based off a beloved video game that has a story that people really like, but they decided to take their own original spin on this story and make something of their own, but lifting things from the game. And we know from the past that that can lead to some really great results, but also lead to some disastrous ones that can backfire. In the case of Until Dawn, the movie, I feel like this movie straddles the line where I feel like a lot of you guys who are in love with the video game and like the video game expect video game adaptations to be done better these days because of what's been going on in the past, will be upset with the changes to the plot, the fact that there's brand new characters and other characters from the game, and the fact that they do lift things from the game, but it's not exactly the way you expect it to be. While people like me, who are newcomers that have never played the game, had a really good time with the film. The movie features a group of young, attractive actors who play friends on a frantic search for a missing pal in a secluded valley. The chemistry among the group of actors is decent enough and they come off likable, but I felt the film didn't spend enough time in the beginning of the film to establish why these group of people were so tight-knit, which kind of makes it truly hard to invest in their friendship fully. You know, the movie's telling you that they're friends and they're fighting for each other throughout the film, but it's easier when the characters are established to have this great chemistry, like we've seen in movies like Scream, I know we did last summer, and great teen slashes from the past. It almost felt like the writers of this film were hesitant to lean into the horror tropes that we know and love from horror films, especially ones that's dealing with a group of young people in a secluded area being like stalked and haunted. Like, you know, you have the really sexual one and the jock and the cheerleader and the one that's always cautious. We see a little bit of that in each character, but it's not enough to make each of these actors or these characters seem very memorable. Which for me, who is not a game fan, made me go, these characters, okay, I'm not gonna really remember the group as a whole, more remember what happens in the film to them. And for people who are into the game, I think that they're gonna feel like, well, they should have just used the characters from the game because these characters that they made here are not more interesting than the game characters. That said, I think every actor here brings enough charisma to keep things engaged and not be dull, especially Ella Rubin, who plays Clover. She's basically the main character of the story, and she is someone that is looking for her sister. That is the friend that is missing, and the desperation that the character feels leaps off the screen. One of the fun aspects of slasher films, haunting films, or silly horror movies that you're not supposed to take super seriously is having a fairly attractive cast making infuriating decisions that's also entertaining, that drive the plot. And those two decisions happen in abundance as they are stuck in a deadly time loop where they get killed every night and a different killer comes for them, which gives them constant fear. And they're really trying to work together to figure out how to get through this. And it takes a little time for that to happen. And you're just looking at and pointing at the screen like, why are you doing this? Just stick together. Like, they try to split up like the Scooby-Doo gang so many times. And I'm like, what is wrong with these people? But it made the movie really fun. The movie's a mix of absurdity, suspense, and has some really solid horror aspects to it. And I've seen enough Let's Plays of Until Dawn to know that the kills in that game are brutal. And I think this movie did a really good job of adapting that aspect to the film. Director David F. Sandberg, who's famous for making the Shazam movies, dig back into his horror roots here, creating a lot of suspense and thrills throughout. The film is bloody, it's way gory than I expected, and outright shocking how some of these characters meet their end. There's some stereotypical stuff that you've seen in horror movies before, but this particular death sequence that had my whole theater shocked. And I gotta say, the beginning of the movie uses the gimmick really well, this terrorizing Groundhog Day, because there's little details like when they come back and wake up from the last death that they have bruises and reminders, physical reminders on their body of their last demise. And whether it's a slasher killer or a haunting or some that feels like a zombie, the movie pulls from different aspects of horror to make you keep guessing what's going to happen next, and also creates fear with the characters so you have fun. But unfortunately, the movie does stumble. The movie shifts from having that unique lore and the unique style and premise of the time loop to going more into like stereotypical horror genre flick that you normally see in maybe like a slasher film, which makes the movie a lot more predictable and kind of makes it lose steam towards the end. The last few minutes really, it wasn't like the landing wasn't stuck. It just wasn't as great as the first half of the film. So it made it go from, oh, this is really good. It's not a great movie. But it's not a bad film, to, okay, this is just fine. While the movie has Easter eggs and some of the monsters from the game in the movie departs so much from what made the game work so much. The themes, the way the butterfly effect of your decisions compounded upon each other throughout the story of the game, it doesn't really do that here in that aspect. And I think that this movie feels like someone had a really cool horror idea of a Groundhog Day where young people get terrorized and decided the only way to sell it was to slap the Until Dawn name on it. So it makes the movie fun for the casual audience. But I think for people who are in love with the game, wanted to see that game brought to life, especially since it's a game that's so cinematic, I think that they're going to be disappointed in it, even though there's going to be certain aspects that they're going to, oh, I know that from the game. It's not going to be enough because it could have been so much more. Overall, if you are someone that's open-minded, that has played the game and kind of see a different version of the game that you know and love, or you're somebody that never played the game and just interested in a fun horror film that's silly, that doesn't take itself too seriously, but kind of bends the genre tropes a little bit, I think Until Dawn is worth a good try to go check it out in theaters. I had a really good time with it, but it's not an amazing movie at all. You can definitely wait for streaming as well. So with that said, I'm going to give Until Dawn a C. Question of the day is, what is your favorite horror video game? Thanks for watching, and let me know in the comments below how you feel about the film and the answers to the question of the day. And you can watch more content